Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. Monster matchup.
Well, under normal circumstances, this is a massive matchup, and I'm not totally in agreement with the view that friendlies tend to take the edge away. In my experience, if the opposition go at it full tilt, then you have to reciprocate. We'd like to see excitement and be entertained, but if it does go down the serious route, there'll still be lots to enjoy.
We're underway. Kerkez. And it's McAllister. He's clearly asking too much with that. Romero, Kudus, Bissouma, Romero, Bissouma, João Palhinha, Gakpo, Kerkez. Kudus, João Palhinha, Bissouma, Kudus, João Palhinha, and here's Colomwani, out to the right, very nicely done, and it's Bissouma. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Danso. Kudus has been caught there, it's a foul. It's not taken him long, and that's going to be a booking. And the ball's come loose here. Doggy puts a cross in, and he's heaved it away. Mohamed Salah. Van Dijk. McAllister. Kerkez. Gakpo. Great defending, strong and determined. Romero. Bissouma. Romero. Bissouma, João Palhinha, Isak, Gakpo, Kerkez, McAllister, Udogie. Danso. João Palhinha. Palhinha played out towards the right wing. Gravenberg. Gakpo. Frimpong. McAllister. Frimpong. McAllister. Frimpong. McAllister. Konate. And it's played forward. Kudus. And here's Kolomwani. Nicely intercepted. Mohamed Salah. Van Dijk. Frimpong. Van Dijk. Konate. Gravenberg. Gomez. Kerkez. Gravenberg. Kerkez. Pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Pedro Porro. Romero. Van de Ven. Aim forwards. Pedro Porro. Bissouma. Pedro Porro. João Palhinha. Oh, good spread. Incoming delivery. And the keeper beats it away. Gomez. Gravenberg. Konate. McAllister. Mohamed Salah. McAllister chooses to go cross-field. Kerkez. Gomez. Mohamed Salah. Frimpong. Mohamed Salah. And it's Frimpong. McAllister. Showing good feet. He came in hard, very hard. Oh, nice touch. Frimpong played into the box. João Palhinha. And here's Isak. And that's caused a worry or two.
Well, there wasn't too much wrong with his effort. He needs to get on the ball again and give it another crack. I would.
Pedro Porro. Bissouma. João Palhinha. Udogi. Oh, that's neat. João Palhinha. Good chance here.
Well, he doesn't need a second invitation, even from that range.
Van Dijk. He's going to be disappointed with that. And it's Kudus. And here's Kolomwani. João Palhinha. Bissouma. João Palhinha. Bissouma. And here's Kolomwani. Tries a measured ball. Looking for a decent ball in. João Palhinha. Played out wide. And the shot's on here. Header! Colomwani. Bissouma. Gravenberg defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Gakpo, and that's a foul, free kick's been given. Dealt with nicely by the defence. Romero have it back and can go again. João Palhinha. Bissouma.
Johnson really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
McAllister moved on forwards.
Isak really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Oh, what a ball! And the shot! Oh, could be danger here. Oh, shooting chance! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
Kudus clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
Pedro Porro plays it short. He's having a look round. And it's Udogi. Gomez with the clearance. Now it's Isak. Pedro Porro. Gomez. Konate shifted upfield. Frimpong. Salah. Frimpong. McAllister. Gravenberg. Searching pass, he's played there. Great chance! Oh, surely that deserved better.
Almost the perfect move. Almost. The finish just wasn't quite at the same level.
João Palhinha. Van der Ven forwards and with intent. Udogi. They're in full steam ahead down the left flank. Mohamed Salah. Kudus. João Palhinha. Colomwani. Mamardashvili. Wrong ball by the goalkeeper. Johnson. Frimpong. Van Dijk. Gravenberg. Kerkez. Gakpo. And here's Isak. Kerkez. Here comes the cross. Udogi. And he thumps it clear. Palhinha wins the duel this time. Kudus. Danso. Udogi. Joao Palhinha. Kirkes. McAllister. Van Dijk. Mohamed Salah. Kirkes. Gakpo. Kirkes. Gakpo. Over to the left. Gravenberg. McAllister. Might be danger here. Mohamed Salah, he's gone backward here. It's Salah! Koulibaly. Udogi. Joao Palhinha. Played towards the other side. Bissouma. Joao Palhinha. Pedro Porro. Brennan Johnson. Played out to the right. Pedro Porro puts the ball in. And it's hoisted clear. Gakpo, he's going to run down the left wing. It's a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. Out to the left it goes. Oh, that's nice. He's there to get rid. And played it back swiftly. And Joao Palhinha. That is lovely. He's cut it out. Mohamed Salah. Well, the boss won't be happy about that at all. They were pedestrian in possession and carried almost no threat at all. Palhinha cuts it out.
Really are pushing their fullbacks forward now.
Aiming to do what?
Well, it's a case of engaging your opponents further up the pitch to take the sting out of opposition attacks. It's effectively a wide press.
Danso. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking...
Koulibaly! Ramadashvili herring after the ball here. They've got rid. Oh, such a clever touch. Nice defending, physical and effective. Mohamed Salah. Van Dijk. Gravenberg. Konate. That's really well manoeuvred. Frimpong chasing after it. McAllister. Van Dijk. McAllister. Gravenberg.
How many interceptions have we seen now? Someone's got to up the quality and set an example.
Pedro Porro. Van de Ven. Van de Ven, gently done. Kudus, foot in. Mohamed Salah producing a good steal there, showing a good level of alertness. Van Dijk. Moved on forwards. Frimpong looking up to see who wants it. And it's Gravenberg. McAllister. Lovely. Isaac! Koulibaly. Johnson head out to the left flank. Gravenberg. And here's Gakpo. Salah. Gravenberg. Bissouma does really well to win the ball there. Johnson. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Frimpong. McAllister. Frimpong. And it's played forward. Kudus. Bissouma. Kudus. Now it's Kolomwani!
Kolomwani has taken on too much there. That isn't one of the areas he thrives on.
Brennan Johnson. João Palhinha. Good ball, good take. Johnson, that's a delicate pass. And here's Kolomwani. Kolomwani! And he's there to clear it. He's being urged to shoot. Lovely feet. Out to the right. Not pretty, but it gets the job done. This physical challenge. Pedro Porro. And it's Porro. Bissouma. And here's Johnson. Kudus, chance for a shot! Gravenberg. Konate. Gomez. Van Dijk. Kolomwani. And he's lost his man here. Kolomwani! Oh, he's really drilled it.
Oh, that's a cracking try. Good technique to keep it low too.
That is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
Kirkes. McAllister. Gravenberg. Plenty of endeavour from either side, but not much of it in the vicinity of either goal.
I actually think both teams are playing okay here. We've had some good attempts, although they've mounted to nothing so far.
In into the middle. Tries to get it clear. Kolomwani. Pressing's intense, and it's paid off. It's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Brennan Johnson. And here's Johnson. And that was very necessary, and reclaimed it in a trice. Van der Ven forwards and with intent. That's been won straight back. João Palhinha. And it's Joao Palhinha. Now then, the ball's come loose. Spread out to the left. Oh, sweet feet. And here's Kudus. Over to the left. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. It'll be a throw-in. Joao Palhinha. Udogi. That's tidy. He's gone for goal! And he has been fouled there. And it's Salah. Udogi wins the duel this time. Romero. Brennan Johnson. Kolumwani head out towards the right wing. Gomez. McAllister. And here's Isak. And it's Frimpong. And here's Mohamed Salah. Gakpo. McAllister. Mohamed Salah. Palhinha does really well to win the ball there. Udogi. Danso. Kudus. Kudus. Udogi. And here's Kolumwani. Johnson! Kolumwani has got himself a free kick. Johnson! Bissouma played with finesse. Referee's given a throw. Gravenberg. Frimpong. Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. That's really well manoeuvred. Great defending, strong and determined. Bissouma. Out towards the flank. Pedro Porro. Can he finish? And here's Kolumwani. And that has been clubbed away. Pedro Porro. Bissouma shifted upfield. Brennan Johnson. That's an excellent interception. And he's there to get it away. Romero. Bissouma. Pedro Porro. Van der Ven aim forwards. Gakpo, that's a good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing. Lovely bit of skill. Gakpo. Gakpo!
Well, that's confidence for you. Distance doesn't even bother him.
Bissouma. João Palhinha. And here's Colomwani. Gakpo. Gomez. Konate. And reclaimed it in a trice. And here's Isak. And it's Salah. Gakpo. Knocks it out wide. Nice control. McAllister. João Palhinha. Romero. Bissouma. Danso. Ooh, can he get onto this? Kudus. João Palhinha. Now who's going to be first to this? Mohamed Salah. Palhinha does really well to win the ball there. Van Dijk shifted upfield. And it's Kerkez. Oh, it's a searing run. He is a man on a mission. Kerkez proves just a little bit too strong. Cleared away. Dobby. Isak. Simple. Pedro Porro tries making a foray down the right. And it's Porro. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Moved on forwards. Gravenberg. Now it's Mohamed Salah. Frimpong. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Now it's Kudus. And it's Udogu. And that's put paid to a promising move. Gomez. Konate. McAllister. Mohamed Salah. Konate. Kerkez. Proves too strong. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. João Palhinha. Doggy wins the duel this time. He can get that clear. And it's João Palhinha. That's a nicely weighted pass. Gravenberg gets it clear. Kerkez. Konate. Gravenberg. Mohamed Salah. Kerkez. Salah. McAllister. And here's Isak. That's good play. Danso gets it away. And Dijk have it back and can go again. Udogi. Danso. Udogi. Gravenberg did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. Great defending, strong and determined. Pedro Porro. Bissouma. João Palhinha. And here's Kudus. And it's Udogi. That's very neat. Kudus ploughing through the middle. Gomez. Gomez head over towards the opposite flank. Salah. Frimpong. Mohamed Salah. Romero. Van der Ven, gently done. Johnson, oh, good spread. João Palhinha. And here's Colomwani. And claimed it back swiftly. Romero. Pedro Porro. Gomez. McAllister. Gakpo. Mohamed Salah. Kirkes. McAllister. And it's Frimpong. Danso. João Palhinha. Kudus. And it's played forward. Brennan Johnson. Van Dijk. Played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Kirkes. Konate. Gakpo. McAllister. Van Dijk. Gravenberg. And we're not going to make any further progress now. Brennan Johnson. Johnson head out towards the right wing. Bissouma. João Palhinha. And here's Colomwani. Gakpo. That's really well manoeuvred. Romero forwards and with intent. Konate. And here's Isak.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to go.
Brennan Johnson. Great ball if he can get there. That's going to go a long way. And reclaimed it in a trice. And here's Johnson. Ooh, a delicate chip through. And that's a goal kick. Gravenberg. Mohamed Salah. Gomez, aim forwards. Strong running down that left flank. Gakpo. Udogi. It's all a little short of forward momentum, lacking thrust. Udogi. Palhinha, and it's Kudus. Kudus tries to dink it through. Kerkez getting this one clear. Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro. Up he goes! That needed to be better, and he knows it.
You really could have done with engaging those crosses much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Van Dijk. Kerkez. And he goes cross-field. Frimpong. McAllister. Mohamed Salah. Kerkez. Gomez. Kerkez. McAllister. Played out to the right. Now this could be a chance. Now it's Colomboani. Tries a deft little ball. Now it's Johnson. And it's Porro. Pedro Porro puts the ball in. McAllister. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. And that is as far as they're going to go. Van der Ven, gently done. It's an inviting looking ball, that. Pedro Porro. In with the challenge. Kerkez. Needs a bit of penetration to go with all this possession. McAllister. Mohamed Salah. Played into space out wide. Palhinha. Udogi. Well, they've seen lots of the ball. Time to go for it a bit of creativity and adventure. Kudus. Pedro Porro. Kudus. And here's Colomboani. Chance! Gomez getting this one clear. He's in, surely! Johnson. That's really well manoeuvred. Thinks one through. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Danso. Pedro Porro. João Palhinha. Kudus. 30 minutes gone. Udogi. And here's Kudus. Johnson. And it's Porro. Now it's Kolomouani. Shot, surely! Gomez clears it away. He is just caressing the ball. Bissouma succumbs to the pressure. Kudus, Brennan Johnson, Pedro Porro. That's been well dealt with. Oh, really cute, what a... climbs up big! Oh, he's got that completely wrong.
Incredible. We have all the time in the world to kick his spot as well.
And it's played forward. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. And it's Salah. Out to the right. McAllister. He's having a shot! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Isak is offering a wry smile there.
That has been knocked clear. The pressing's intense. Shapes to shoot!
Gakpo usually is so good from that range. He didn't quite connect as he can though.
Johnson. Kudus. João Palhinha. Moved on forwards. Frimpong cuts out the pass. Frimpong shifted upfield. Kudus. Johnson. Bissouma. Now it's Johnson. Kolomouani. Kolomouani head out towards the right wing. He's got options in the box if he gets his head up. Frimpong gets good distance on it. And it's Bissouma. Udogi gets across him. Cleared without complication. Oh, lovely feed, he is such a good mover. Now it's Kudus. And it's played in here. Gakpo. McAllister. Kudus. Now it's Kolomouani. Mohamed Salah. Kerkez. Salah. Frimpong. Palhinha did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. It's all a little short of forward momentum, lacking thrust. Muscular approach does pay off here. Pedro Porro. It's Porro. Bissouma. That's very neat. Johnson. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. And here's Isak. Kerkez. Pedro Porro does really well there, strong defending. They get a throw in. Romero. And here's Gakpo. Gakpo. Pedro Porro. Gakpo. Gravenberg. And it's played forward. Kerkez. Johnson does well to get it back. Now it's Kolomuani. Now that's well done, really robust. And it's Salah. Frimpong. Showing good feet. Nice physical challenge. Romero. Palhinha. Van de Ven. Van de Ven forwards and with intent. Kudus does really well to win the ball there. Brennan Johnson. Pedro Porro looking for a run-up. Van Dijk looks to the other side. Kerkez. That's really well manoeuvred. And here's Isak. And it's Frimpong. Oh, such a clever touch. Frimpong. He is just caressing the ball. There's the shot! It's off target and by quite a way. Palhinha. Danso. 0-0, but nevertheless a very decent game. Pedro Porro. Van Dijk chooses to go cross-field. Gravenberg. Salah. And here's Isak. Pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Udogi. Danso, aim forwards. Isuma. Brennan Johnson. That's a nicely shaped ball. Kolomwani!
Oh, he's managed to get it all wrong. That's really well played. It's just the type of run you need. Off the shoulder of the last defender. Stay onside.
Konate. Kerkesh. Oh, it's played into the area. Cleared away. Pedro Porro. Brennan Johnson. Well, that was a period of possession which carried just about no threat at all. McAllister. And here's Isak. And it's Frimpong. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Could move up a gear here. Palinia looking to run onto it. Tries to get it clear. Chance to play it in. Here it is, crossed in. Konate gets it away. Mohamed Salah. Frimpong. McAllister. Gakpo. Gravenberg. McAllister. Gakpo. Gravenberg, gently done. Lofted in. And that is out of play. Moved on forwards. Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. Konate forwards and with intent. McAllister. And it's Salah. Gakpo! He's missed, but not by that far.
His reputation is better than what we've just seen.
Danso. Kudus. João Palhinha. Udogi. Van der Ven. Kudus. João Palhinha. Udogi. And that's aimed into the middle.
I think those reactions say it all. He didn't wait for the support, and the chances gone a begging.
Mohamed Salah. Van Dijk. And it's played forward. Frimpong. McAllister. Salah. Gravenberch. McAllister. McAllister shifted upfield. Danger averted for now. That's been won straight back. Isak with the challenge, and he has given away a free kick. The referee has resisted the temptation to go to his pocket. It's just a stern lecture. Vicario sends that a long way. Gomez. Gakpo. Kirkes. Gakpo. He is through here. Played into the middle. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. Well, that looks like a final warning. Still no card. Doggy gets rid without sophistication. Kirkes have it back and can go again. Frimpong, cross into the box. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Kudus, the referee's awarded a free kick. And it's Kudus. McAllister wins the duel this time. McAllister, aim forwards. Gakpo, gently done. It's come to nothing. Gomez. Kirkes. Gakpo. Salah. And here's Isak. Johnson. Bissouma. Ball's gone out of play. And it's Gravenberch. Gravenberch. That's good play. Can he deliver? Mohamed Salah. It's Salah! Decent enough try.
Mohamed Salah certainly knows that he's missed a real chance there, but he can't dwell on that. He needs to pick himself up and move on.
That's really well manoeuvred. Gravenberch. McAllister. Frimpong. Frimpong. Too much on it, and that is an easy claim for the keeper. Pedro Porro. Needs a bit of penetration to go with all this possession. Johnson. And here's Colomwani. And it's Udogi. And here's Kudus. Kudus laid out to the left flank. Lovely feet. Udogi, delicate ball, and it needs to be. McAllister, Gakpo, Mohamed Salah, Gravenberg, Kerkez, Salah. The ball is loose and the chase is on. And here's Gakpo. Bissouma, Colomwani, João Palhinha, Romero, Bissouma, Romero, Pedro Porro, Johnson, João Palhinha, Udogi, Bissouma, Brennan Johnson,
Just wonder which team is going to up the ante first.
And it's Kudus, Bissouma. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Gakpo producing a good steal there, showing a good level of alertness. McAllister, Gakpo, McAllister, Mohamed Salah. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Udogi, Bissouma, Romero. Oh, that's a clever looking ball. Oh, not quite. That's really well manoeuvred. Romero. Isak. And here's Mohamed Salah. Kudus. Danso. Van de Ven. Bissouma. Isak. Johnson. Pedro Porro. Van de Ven. Danso shifted upfield. Bissouma. Pedro Porro. Isak. Gakpo. McAllister. Van Dijk. Van Dijk played over towards the opposite flank. Gomez. McAllister. Gakpo. Kerkez. Gravenberg. McAllister. Frimpong. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. surprise, that's a booking. Van der Ven getting this one clear. McAllister. And it's Salah. Frimpong. Cross goes in there. Vicario gets his gloves on it, nice and calm. And reclaimed it in a trice. Nice interception, his positioning was spot on. That is lovely. Gakpo. And the ball is out of play. João Palhinha. Bissouma. Kudus, Bissouma, Danso, João Palhinha, Kudus, Gravenberg does really well to win the ball there. Gomez, Kerkez, Gomez. Konate, gently done. Kerkez. Aim forwards. Bissouma. Pedro Porro. Romero. Pedro Porro. Kudus. Moved on forwards. Mohamed Salah. Gravenberg. Gakpo. Gravenberg. That has been cut short.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Oh, they've seen lots of the ball. Time to go for it a bit of creativity and adventure. Danso. Udogi. Van der Ven. Bissouma. Kudus. Oh, good spread. Johnson. Bissouma. And here's Cook. Real chance! Oh, that is rather wayward.
Look, they seem set on a tactic that's not really yielding any results. You'd imagine they're targeting a weakness, but they look a weakness themselves.
Gravenberg. Gakpo. Gravenberg. Frimpong. And it's Salah. McAllister. Gakpo. McAllister. And the finish! Danso gets good distance on it. McAllister. Oh, they could be caught out here. Gakpo. And here's Isak. Kudus. Udogi. Danso. Van der Ven. And it's played forward. Udogi. Van der Ven. Udogi. Danso. Danso forwards and with intent. Mohamed Salah. Van Dijk. McAllister.
Have beautifully policed that midfield. The opposition have been handcuffed.
Udogi. Romero. Bissouma. Kudus. And here's Colomwani. Colomwani! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Colomwani really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
And it's hoisted clear. That'll be a throw. And it's Bissouma. Udogi. Kudus. Here's a chance!
Kudus just can't be faulted for taking on the opportunity. That sort of distance is usually up his street.
McAllister. Mohamed Salah. And here's Isak. Played out wide. Oh, that's nice. Udogi wins the duel this time. That is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Gravenberg. Frimpong. McAllister. Mohamed Salah. Proves too strong. Bissouma. Pedro Porro. João Palhinha. That's really well manoeuvred. McAllister. Oh, he's caught him there. It's a free kick. Well, the referee has made it pretty clear now that this is his last chance.
Yeah, and he has to change his ways, or this referee could soon change his status.
Mohamed Salah. Played out to the right. Gakpo. Ambitious ball here. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Romero. Udogi. Udogi. Van der Ven. João Palhinha. Brennan Johnson. And he decides to cross it. McAllister. Mohamed Salah. Frimpong. Mohamed Salah. And it's Frimpong. Nice control. Great defending, strong and determined. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Konate, forwards and with intent. Frimpong. Gakpo. Kerkez. Gakpo. Romero. Pedro Porro. Needs a bit of penetration to go with all this possession. Bissouma. Johnson. And it's Kudus. Udogi. João Palhinha. Udogi. And here's Kudus. And here's Colomwani. Gomez is there, and he can get that clear. Gakpo shifted upfield. João Palhinha. And it's played forward. Gakpo being hounded, manhandled at times.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, Peter, that they don't allow their attempt to snuff out the threat now to turn into indiscipline.
Salah. Frimpong. And here's Isak. Isak! He has a look. He's had a shot! Romero. Who's he going to play in? Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. A searching ball out wide. Kudus. Johnson. Good take, and is he in? And he's there to get it away. Romero, aim forwards. Kerkez. McAllister. Best part of an hour, and still no breakthrough from either side. Gomez. And he goes cross-field. Now it's Mohamed Salah. Now it's McAllister. Mohamed Salah, oh, good spread. Mohamed Salah, it's Salah!
Mohamed Salah really looked as though he had chosen correctly then, and yet we quickly realised he hadn't.
Pedro Porro. Romero, gently done. João Palhinha. Kudus. And it's Udogi. Caresses it through. The movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time.
Well, I think that move petered out due to a lack of urgency. There was no cutting edge.
And here's Gakpo. Kerkez. Pedro Porro. Kudus. Now it's Colomwani. Gets himself into trouble and he's lost it. And it's Salah. Thinks about the shot. And that has been clubbed away. Gravenberg. Mohamed Salah. Gravenberg. Kirkes. And here's Gakpo. Johnson. Gravenberg. Gakpo. And here's Isak. Cleared without complication. Oh, nice touch. Mohamed Salah! That was superb goalkeeping.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Bissouma. Gakpo. Isak. And that's been won straight back. Udogi. Colomwani! He's done very well to get to that.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
That's the keeper's ball. Now it's Isak. Out to the left it goes. Kirkes. It's lofted through here. Johnson. Romero. Van de Ven. Moved on forwards. Pedro Porro. Now he's off and running. And it's Salah. Oh, sweet feet. Kudus. Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. They played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Udogi is offering some sort of an apology there.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Gakpo. Well timed, excellent interception. Danso. So much has happened in this game, but still no goal.
Well, from an entertainment viewpoint, it's not the scoreline we would have wanted at this stage, although I'm not complaining about the commitment being shown. We've seen plenty of goal-mouth action.
Kirkes. Gravenberg, aim forwards. Salah. McAllister. Gravenberg. Gakpo. Gakpo! Gakpo. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other.
I'm not sure the shot was ever on there, really. There were just too many bodies in the way, Peter.
And here's Johnson. Gravenberg. Kirkes. Gakpo. And here's Isak. Mohamed Salah. Romero. João Palhinha. Brennan Johnson. Pedro Porro. And here's Kudus. Lovely bit of skill. McAllister gets it clear and claimed it back swiftly. Kudus. Yeah, he's fouled him there. Not pretty, but it gets the job done. Gomez. Kirkes. Gomez. McAllister. And it's Kudus. Udogi. Bissouma. Plenty waiting in the middle. Delivered with swing. And he's there to clear it. That'll be a throw-in. McAllister. Salah. And here's Isak. Can he finish? Romero. That's a throw. Johnson. Kolimuani. Now it's Kudus. And it's Udogi. João Palhinha. Palhinha, gently done. That's the throw. Bissouma. That's tidy. Now it's Kolo. And a chance! Van Dijk. Konate. And it's played forward. Gravenberg. Now it's Isak. Isak made out to the left flank. Mohamed Salah. And it's Frimpong. Oh, that's neat. Decent chance! And he has kept it out somehow.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Danso getting this one clear. Gravenberg. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Mohamed Salah. That's going to go a long way. And here's Mohamed Salah. All comes in. Keeper's dealt with that. Bissouma. Well, they've seen lots of the ball. Time to go for it a bit of creativity and adventure. Danso. Bissouma. Kudus. And here's Colomwani. Johnson spread out to the left. Udogi. Now here's a mighty effort! Well, that is clearly not the outcome he wanted.
You really could have done with engaging those crosses much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Gomez forwards and with intent. That's really well manoeuvred. It's all a little short of forward momentum, lacking thrust. Konate. Gakpo. Frimpong. Bissouma gets over and intercepts. Bissouma, Kudus, Danso, Van de Ven, Bissouma, João Palhinha, Bissouma, and it's Porro. Johnson. Lobbed in behind. João Palhinha. Kudus. And he shoots. Oh, the keeper's equal to it.
Look, they seem set on a tactic that's not really yielding any results. You'd imagine they're targeting a weakness, but they look a weakness themselves.
And here's Isak. Salah. Out towards the flank. Oh, nice touch. Mohamed Salah played out towards the right wing. And he shoots! Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
There's the header! Good trying. The outcome could so easily have been different.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
João Palhinha. Van de Ven. João Palhinha. Danso. Great defending, strong and determined. McAllister. Gravenberg shifted upfield. Kudus. Always onto this. Now it's Colomwani. Great build-up. It all deserved a better ending.
That's good running. It makes life so much easier when you have people who are willing to go beyond the defence like that.
Gravenberg. Frimpong. McAllister. Mohamed Salah. Kerkez. Gravenberg. Gets a good foot in there. Pedro Porro. João Palhinha. Udogi. And it's Kudus. Kudus. Bissouma. Pedro Porro. Real chance here. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Konate. Koulibaly. Looking here to chip it through. Gomez attempts a clearance. It's a throw-in. Pedro Porro. João Palhinha. And here's Kudus. Gakpo. Frimpong. And it's played forward. Out to the right. And it's Salah. McAllister. Gravenberg. And here's Gakpo. Now it's goes to finish! Danso. Van der Beek. João Palhinha. Kudus. Succumbs to the pressure. Udogi. And here's Kudus. It's run loose here. Gravenberg. Konate forwards and with intent. Kerkez. And here's Isak.
Isak really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
And it's Porro. Bit too much weight on the pass. Kerkez. Gakpo. Frimpong. Salah. And here's takes a shot! Well, he should have done better, and he knows it.
Isak is clearly kicking himself here. He knew that was a great opportunity.
Johnson. That's really well manoeuvred. Bissouma. Brennan Johnson. And here's Koulibaly. Referee has just said play on. And here's Koulibaly. Colomwani! Same again, same outcome.
They're just unrelenting, Peter. Wave after wave of attacks. Now it's just a matter of making at least one of them count.
Pedro Porro rules short. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. That has been knocked clear. And it's Joao Palhinha. Kudus. And here's Colomwani. Showing good feet. Bissouma. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Frimpong. Now it's Mohamed Salah. Now there's no getting past him. It's really well defended. And he's on a charge. Lovely bit of skill. Palhinha in acres of space out wide. Time to deliver. Colomwani. Frimpong. Well, the boss won't be happy about that at all. They were pedestrian in possession and carried almost no threat at all. Can he latch on to this? Gets his head on it! And the header is disappointing in the end.
You really could have done with engaging those crosses much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Van Dijk, aim forwards. Gravenberg. Kerkez. McAllister. And here's Isak. Played out to the right. That is lovely. Frimpong crosses. Udogi. Kudus. Bissouma. And here's Johnson. Gravenberg does really well to win the ball there. Bissouma. And it's Kudus. Colomwani. Hoisted in.
Look, this is so frustrating. Passing without any end product is just passing time.
Isak. Kerkez. Pedro Porro wins the duel this time. Romero, gently done. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. And it's Frimpong. And here's Mohamed Salah. Well read, nice interception. Pedro Porro. and reclaimed it. Kirkes. Kirkes. And here's Gakpo. Oh, smashing header! Didn't quite get enough on that.
Well, if you give him something to attack in the air, he's most likely to get there. It's what he does best.
Done so. Udogi. Udogi goes on a charge down the left. He's going all the way! Udogi puts a cross in. And again, they run up against stubborn defending. Isak. Pedro Porro. Brennan Johnson. Johnson. Bissouma chips it through. Now what about... There's the shot! Oh, and that should have been two.
And that reaction says it all. They had a real chance to tighten the screw there, and it's been blown.
Gomez. Kirkes. Gomez. Played towards the other side. 75 minutes played. McAllister. Gravenberg. And here's Isak! And that could come back to haunt them.
Well, that's the response the crowd were looking for, Peter, and it's applause all round us here.
Pedro Porro.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Calmly anticipates. And here's Isak. And it's Kirkes. Kirkes swings it across.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Bissouma. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Pedro Porro does really well to win the ball there. And that was very necessary. Gakpo. And he's certainly caught him there. It's a free kick.
It was a sterling effort, and at least he kept it on target. And it was worth a go.
Pedro Porro. Van der Ven moved on forwards. That's really well manoeuvred. João Palhinha. Kudus. Brennan Johnson. physical challenge. Pedro Porro is fouled. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
McAllister. And it's played forward. Oh, what a climb! And that could have brought them level.
Oh, what a moment for him, Peter. He'll be losing sleep over that one tonight.
Bissouma. Johnson. And it's Kudus. Pedro Porro. Lovely feet. Johnson. Muscular approach does pay off here. Clipped into space. And it's hoisted clear. That's a foul. Simple decision for the referee. Mohamed Salah. Gravenberg. Kerkez. Oh, sweet feet. Good running, strong and purposeful.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Out for a throw. João Palhinha. Palhinha forwards and with intent. Pedro Porro.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Mohamed Salah. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. Gomez. Into the channel. Aimed in towards the centre. Gakpo. And the shot! Frimpong. And it's Salah. Great defending, strong and determined.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Kudus. Now it's Johnson. Pedro Porro. Well, that looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
It's Salah! So close to drawing level.
Danso. João Palhinha. Danso. Van de Ven.
Udogi looks to get on the end of this. Gravenberg. And it's Salah. Bissouma wins the duel this time.
Danso.
It is looking like the end. If anything's going to happen, it's got to happen now.
At least they're going about it as they should, having brought this on themselves.
Pedro Porro. Bissouma. Colomboani.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Gravenberg. Gakpo. Kerkez picks it up now. Deflected behind for a corner kick. Romero with the clearance. It's a good-looking delivery. Romero gets it away.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job.
Takes the shot! And the lead stays intact, just. Danso aim forwards. Konate gets across to intercept that. Gomez shifted upfield. Gravenberg. Frimpong. Johnson, that's a good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing.
Danso.
Bissouma. Brennan Johnson. And here's Colomboani. Proves too strong. Doggy climbs up big! And that would have won it.
Oh, what a stunning save. Absolutely tremendous, and he's kept his team in it.
Johnson knocks it out wide. And it's João Palhinha. And here's Colomboani. Oh, it's come loose. Oh, that's well done, really robust.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Kerkez. Johnson. Kudus. Johnson. Succumbs to the pressure.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Frimpong.
Kirkes. Gravenberg. Kirkes. Gakpo. Goes for goal! Keeper's not concerned by that.
Look, they seem set on a tactic that's not really yielding any results. You'd imagine they're targeting a weakness, but they look a weakness themselves.
Pedro Porro.
Romero. Bissouma. And it's Kudus. And here's Colomwani. Oh, such a clever touch.
Pedro Porro.
Bissouma. Kudus. Bissouma. Just 5 minutes remaining now.
João Palhinha. Udogi.
Oh, that's nice. Kudus looking under. Gravenberg concedes a free kick for that. Physical challenge.
João Palhinha.
Bissouma. Bissouma gently done. Goes for a shot!
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
McAllister forwards and with intent.
There's only one word for this, it's baffling. That team needs to figure out where the ball needs to be, and it's not there.
Frimpong. Whistle's gone, that's foul. There's obvious upset over that challenge. You can see the players face to face. Let's hope this doesn't escalate.
Well, I think the alternative was to stand there and do nothing while he tried to score. And obviously, he's not going to allow that, Peter, is he?
And here's Mohamed Salah.
And it's Kirkes.
Gravenberg. Final seconds, this has to be it.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Gakpo. Shoots! Oh, that was no routine save.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Udogi.
Well, it's probably safe to say now, Peter, that it's going to be all about game management from here.
Mohamed Salah.
Kirkes.
That's surely a foul. Free kick. Gravenberg. It really is now or never. They need a goal however it comes. Chance for a cross, maybe now or never. Frimpong. He hits it! Oh, just lacked a decent finish. And it's played forward.
João Palhinha.
Applies the finish! Oh, that's a waste.
McAllister.
Gravenberg.
Kirkes. Looks across and plays it in.
And he's heaved it away.
Gomez. Frimpong.
Time added on 4 minutes.
Johnson. Kudus. Udogi. Kolomuani.
Mohamed Salah.
Gomez.
Gravenberg.
Gakpo. Kirkes.
And here's Gakpo. That's very neat.
McAllister.
So time is nearly up. Decent chance! The final seconds now.
Udogi.
Bissouma. That's really well manoeuvred. Johnson.
And it's Kudus.
Isak.
Do have a chance to counter here.
Gakpo. Now it's Gakpo. One good cross, maybe the last chance. And the finish! He's in here! Oh, shooting chance!
Well, even for him, that may have been a touch ambitious.
Kudus. Udogi. And it's Kudus.
And here's Johnson. Out towards the flank. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Gravenberg.
Kolomuani.
Kudus.
Gakpo.
Gravenberg.
Gakpo.
McAllister. Mohamed Salah.
Kolomuani. Pedro Porro.
Johnson moved on forwards. Now it's Kudus. Gravenberg. McAllister. Frimpong. Looks to the other side. And it's Kirkes. Gravenberg. Mohamed Salah. It's Salah! Johnson. And he's away. Muscular approach does pay off here. He's shifting through the gears here. Kudus. Gravenberg. Kirkes. Gomez. Gomez made over towards the opposite flank. Salah. It really is now or never. They need a goal however it comes.
Tottenham. Done so. And it's Kudus. Udogi.
Done delicately. Van Dijk clears it away. There will be a throw-in. Frimpong. McAllister, and he goes cross-field. Kirkes is onto it in a flash. Kudus.
Udogi.
And here's Colomwani. Colomwani. Danger averted for now. Van der Ven does really well to win the ball there.
Done so.
And here's Kudus. And here's Kudus. And that is it. The referee has...